corporate hostile takeover of Mr. Spock. You know, it's just funny for me to see that all my life I've been a fan of so many subgenre styles of music like heavy metal and gothic and punk, and for all of them it was always the same story that the big corporations had, like, oh, this stuff is going on in the underground, we can't allow that, we gotta pull that into the mainstream. So for heavy metal, they went like, oh, we gotta do glam rock, and then we gotta do new metal, and then we gotta do emo metalcore, and for gothic we gotta do like Evanescence and have some girl singing and pretend it's gothic. And for punk music we gotta have like Rage Against the Machine and pull it into the mainstream. And it's always the same story that the big corporations, if they see something in the underground that really irks them and they can't allow it, they can't allow that to happen, that something happens and makes money and it's out of their control, so they got to pull it into the mainstream. And right now they are doing the same with political and social kind of stuff, like homosexuality. Like, you can't have a gay culture anymore. We have to pull it into the mainstream. I'm sorry about the clicking noises, but my dog is hunting insects. You're just really annoying, dog. While I'm trying to record a podcast kind of thing, that you're hunting insects on the wooden floor, which is really annoying. How about you lie down? Anyway, like, homosexuality or feminism or whatever kind of fringe culture used to be fringe culture, they have to pull it into the mainstream and make a diluted mainstream version of it. Like, you can't have your little gay culture anymore, and we're going to make big budget gay movies and make everybody be into gays, so fuck your culture, screw your culture. We're just going to make it a huge sludge of mainstream whatever that has no meaning whatsoever, and screw your feminism. We're just going to make it a big sludge that mainstream people, normal people, can just repeat some slogans and don't know what they're about and don't know what anything is about. They just have to make it corporate and mainstream, and they devalue everything, obviously. Like, from music to politics, they devalue everything by trying to make a cheap mainstream version that general people who don't understand anything can enjoy. They devalue everything, and for what? Like, it becomes a fad for like 1 year and people are all into that, and then they go to the next fad, and it doesn't mean anything. It's just complete shit. It's just complete shit. They're just randomly pulling because they see that something outside the mainstream is making money and they can't handle that. They want to make the money from it, so they make a really cheap, shitty corporate version of it. Which brings us to Mr. Spock and how it was why do I say it? How he was reinterpreted first by J.J. Abrams and then by Star Trek Discovery. What the fucking shit? What the fuck? Seriously. Mr. Spock, yeah, had a complete underground appeal. Like, Star Trek, that's something mainstream. That's something general people know that's mainstream. But the appeal of Mr. Spock appealed only to a certain kind of people. Kind of people who struggle to get along with humanity and were trying to reconcile their one side that is overthinking everything and their other side that would prefer to follow their emotions. It's a really an appeal to a really particular kind of people. That's what made Mr. Spock such a beloved character, that reconciliation between those character traits of being a completely overthinking kind of person and a very logical and trying to keep a distance from everything, and on the other side, people who would like to integrate more, but they're just overthinking everything. It really appealed to a specific type of people, And it was great that way. That's what made him so beloved, that he appealed to a specific type of people, to a very specific section of society. But no, we can't accept anything appealing to a specific section of society. We can't accept that. We can't accept that you're gay, or that you're into heavy metal, or that you're a woman, or that you're black, or anything. We can't accept that you are a section of society. Everything has to be mainstream. Everything has to be made mainstream. Everything has to be kind of turned into a sludge that everybody can enjoy. It's not allowed for anything to be enjoyed by a specific section of society. No, everything by corporate logic has to be enjoyed by everyone, by cheapening it so much that it loses all its meaning, but so that the mainstream trends can like it for 1 year. And that's what the J.J. Abrams movies did. They completely removed everything from Mr. Spock that appealed to a section of society, and just perverted him into a character. Oh, that's like something everybody in the society can identify with now. Everybody can identify with this guy. Wow, we perverted and changed him so much, everybody can identify with that. And then Star Trek Discovery went even further, that they cheapened the character so much that they just made him about, generic mainstream disabilities, and not about who he is. Nobody cares about Mr. Spock anymore. He's just some guy with disabilities, so that everybody who has some disability or the other, and everybody has a disability. I'm colorblind, that's a disability. I can't see the same colors you do. Everybody has some disability or the other, because no human being on the planet can do 100% of what a human being can do. It's just impossible. Everybody has some flaw or another, so they're just trying to appeal to that kind of thing, that we all have some kind of flaw, so let's just identify with a character for having some kind of flaw. And that just completely removes everything that the character was about, just to make some kind of fake mainstream appeal that will maybe last for a year, and then nobody will care anymore. Why? 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 Just because the big corporations are so jealous that something has an appeal to a specific section of society, that they need to suck it dry and destroy it. It's ridiculous. And nobody on this planet could possibly support it, because they do the same with homosexuality, they do the same with feminism, they do the same with all skin colors, they do the same with all cultures, they do the same with all specific sections of society. Everybody should be against it. So why does this shit have support? Why? Because the mainstream has been polarized in such a way that apparently cheapening homosexuality is something that works against homophobia. Yeah, right. Or cheapening feminism is working against the disadvantage of women. Yeah, right. Or that cheapening specific subgenres is doing something against exclusion or whatever. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I'm just struggling to find an answer as to how a mainstream can accept that, and on a political and social kind of level accept that cheapening something does something positive. And they are arguing that way. The Star Trek Discovery fans are arguing that way. The Star Wars The Last Jedi fans are arguing that way. And the Captain Marvel fans are arguing that way. That cheapening and destroying something to be suitable for mainstream audiences somehow enhances the thing. And cheapening and destroying doesn't enhance anything. It doesn't make any sense. It's completely ridiculous. It's completely stupid. You gotta be a complete higher level of stupid to somehow buy into that. Like an extreme level of stupid. How stupid can a person be to think that cheapening and destroying something can enhance something? But somehow that logic flies. I don't know how stupid society got. The complete stupidity behind it is just unfathomable. And that's the basic idea behind what they are doing with Mr. Spock. They're cheapening him so much to some ridiculously low level that the real depth of the character that a certain section of society identified with so much, they take all that away. They destroy everything. They cheapen everything. They destroy everything. Take that away from the people who really identified with it to somehow make it mainstream suitable, completely destroy it to make it mainstream suitable, and somehow we're supposed to accept that as a good thing, as an improvement on the character. No. Cheapening and destroying is not enhancing. I don't know how the extreme stupidity, the extreme destruction of all brain cells in one head somehow became mainstream, that this kind of shit would somehow fly with people. Like how really extremely ridiculously idiotic has society become that this is somehow acceptable, that we can destroy and cheapen everything about a subculture and pretend that this is something that improves the subculture. This is just, you have to be 10 times dumber than Forrest Gump and 20 times dumber than my dog to kind of be able to justify that. It's not on human level. No real human being with minimum amount of intelligence can possibly justify that. It's not possible. You have to be more stupid than a slice of bread to somehow justify that. It's just not possible if you have any amount of intelligence that you can justify that. It's not possible. So really, what is wrong with society, and why does anybody accept that? It's just not right. And the character of Mr. Spock, it's really just a symbol of so much of the things that are going on in society, that so much is cheapened, taken away, to be diluted and destroyed from subcultures to make it mainstream suitable, so that specific sections of society can no longer enjoy the idea of being specific sections, that they somehow have to be sucked up and have everything taken away from them, and somehow everybody is cheering for it, and somehow nobody is getting how completely wrong that is. And it's just insane. It's just a level of insanity I can never get behind. It's just so insane. And I'm kind of glad that they did that with Mr. Spock, because it's such a good symbol for all the shit they are doing to all the subcultures, to all the subsections of society, to every one of us who isn't like completely average and has different interests. They are doing it to all of us, and somehow being sucked into the mainstream. We're supposed to cheer for us and claim that it makes everything more accepted and more equal. And no, it does the opposite, and you've got to be completely next level stupid to think otherwise. I'm sorry, but you gotta be a level of stupid that's just incredible. And this whole shit is incredible. How can anybody accept that?